Welcome to Real English Voices, the podcast where you learn English the natural way.
Hey, we are Tom and Ria.
Welcome to Real English Voices for English Learners.
We're really glad you could join us today.
Yeah, absolutely. This deep dive, it's made just for you. We're going to be looking at lots of sentences and words all about school life.
That's right. Things like homework, studying, and even thinking about, well, university in the future.
Our main goal today, our mission, is pretty simple. We want to help you feel more confident with your English.
We'll do that by focusing on short, clear sentences, things you can actually use.
And we'll speak slowly, we'll repeat the important words, so you can listen and maybe even speak along with us.
Yeah, that speaking along part, it's often called shadowing. It's a fantastic technique.
It really is. It helps your listening skills, your speaking, getting the pronunciation right, and even your memory all at the same time.
And we're aiming to make this practice feel, structured, but also enjoyable.
Definitely. So we'll start with the basics. Really simple sentences about everyday school things.
And then, step by step, we'll build on that. We'll add a bit more detail, look at some slightly longer sentences for maybe intermediate learners. Things about how to study, planning ahead.
It's like a journey, really, from just sitting at your school desk all the way to thinking about maybe being more independent later on.
Okay, ready to jump in?
Let's do it. Part 1, starting with the absolute basics, actions and places in school.
Right. Before the sentences, let's get some key words down. These are mostly nouns, names for things. Listen carefully. And if you can, try saying the word after me. Copy how it sounds.
Yeah, that repetition, saying it out loud, it really helps your mouth learn the new sounds. It's like muscle memory for speaking.
Okay, first one. The place you learn. School. School. Go on, try it. School.
School. It's that building usually where you go to learn new things. Super important place.
And who helps you learn there? The teacher.
Teacher.
Say that. Teacher.
The teacher. That's the person, the professional who explains things, guides you. And often teachers are described as, kind or helpful.
Okay, where do you usually sit in the classroom?
Mm.
At a desk. Desk. Try it.
A desk. Yeah, it's like your personal table for working in the classroom.
Now, what about the things you use? Your tools for learning. First, book. Book.
A book contains all the words, maybe stories, things you need to read.
And second, notebook. Notebook. That's different from a book.
Right. The notebook is usually empty at first. It's where you write things down, notes, answers, your own sentences.
Okay, one last essential word for this first part. Homework. Homework.
Homework. That's the work the teacher gives you to do at home after school. It's for practice.
Exactly. Practice what you learn that day.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have school, teacher, desk, book, notebook, homework. Got 'em.
Now let's use these words in some simple sentences. These describe a routine, something that happens often. So notice we use the simple present tense like, I go, or it is.
Okay, listen to these first few. They're about just going to school. We'll say I'm nice and slow.
I go to school every day.
Hear that. I go to school every day. It means it's regular, a habit. Going to school is something you do consistently.
And when you get there, maybe you notice the building itself. My school is big.
My school's big. Or maybe yours is small. It doesn't really matter if it's big or small. The main thing is it's a place for learning.
But look at the sentence. My school is big.
Yeah.
Using is, that's the verb to be, it just states a fact about the school.
Inside the school, who do you meet?
My teacher is kind.
My teacher is kind. That word kind is an adjective. It describes the teacher. Having a kind teacher makes learning feel, well, better, safer.
Okay, you're in the classroom with your kind teacher. Where do you sit? I sit at a desk.
One more time. I sit at a desk. Simple action. You sit down.
And while you're sitting there, what happens? What do you actually do?
This is where the real learning starts, right?
Exactly. 2 basic actions. I read my book.
I read my book.
I write in my notebook.
I write in my notebook. Okay, let's pause here for a sec.
Yeah, good idea, because those sentences, plus a couple more we need to add, they introduce 4 really, really important verbs for listening anything, especially English.
What are they?
Okay, we have listen, ask, read, and write.
Listen, ask, read, write. Got it. The 4 key skills.
Let's talk about listen first. The basic sentence is just, I listen to the teacher. But we can make that stronger. Good learning means listening carefully.
Listening carefully. What does that mean exactly? Does it just mean hearing?
No, it's more than just hearing the sounds. It means paying full attention, like not thinking about lunch or looking out the window.
Right, you're focused.
Yeah,
Trying to understand the meaning of what the teacher is saying.
exactly. So a slightly better sentence is, I listen carefully when my teacher speaks. Listening is step one. If you don't take the information in, well, you can't do anything with it.
Okay, that makes sense. What's the second key action? Ask.
Asking. This one takes a little bit of courage sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah.
Especially in a new language.
The basic sentence is, I ask questions in class. Why is that so important, asking questions?
Well, I guess. If you don't understand something and you just stay quiet, you stay confused.
Yeah.
Asking helps you understand.
Precisely. It bridges the gap. It stops confusion from blocking your learning. You have to interrupt the confusion by asking.
So how do you do it? How do you signal you want to ask? Usually.
I raise my hand. That's the common way, right? You raise your hand.
And then you need to say what you need. Like,
I ask my teacher for help. That phrase, ask for help, it's so important. It's not weak to ask for help. It's actually smart. You're taking control of your learning.
let's repeat that one. I ask my teacher for help. When you say it, really pronounce ask and help clearly. Strong action words.
Okay, so we have listen carefully and ask for help. What about the other two, the ones using the tools?
Right. Read and write. We already have the simple sentences. I read my book.
Reading is how you get lots of new words, new vocabulary, and you understand ideas better. You might read a story or maybe instructions for homework.
And then write. I write in my notebook. You write sentences.
Writing is where you actively use the language. You practice the grammar, the spelling. You're taking what you learn from reading or listening, and you're producing something yourself. Output.
And what do you use for writing? The basic tools.
I use a pen, or I use a pencil.
Pen or pencil. Short, simple sentences. But they describe exactly what you're doing. They're like building blocks for talking about your school day.
Okay, I think that covers the real basics of being in the classroom. The simple actions, the key tools.
Yeah, that feels like a good foundation. So we've talked about learning inside the classroom, but learning doesn't stop when you leave the room, does it?
Not at all. There's practice, and there's also the social side of school.
Right. Which brings us nicely to part 2. This is about things like homework, effort, and interacting with other students, consistency and connection.
Let's start with homework again. We know what it is, but why is it important? It's about consistency, review.
It helps take what you learned in class and kind of fix it in your brain.
Right.
So you don't forget it immediately.
Exactly. It makes the learning stick. And the key is doing it regularly. Listen to this sentence again. Really focus on the last two words. I do my homework every night.
Every night. That shows discipline, doesn't it? A commitment.
It does. And the purpose is simple. Homework helps me learn.
It reinforces the new stuff. Helps you remember it long term, not just for a quick test.
And after you finish your homework, you don't just leave it at home. I bring my homework to school.
Why? So the teacher can see it.
Right. The teacher checks it. That checking part, getting feedback from the teacher, that's super important for knowing if you're on the right track.
Okay, that moment when the teacher checks your work and maybe gives you a score that connects to our next little group of words. These are about effort and feelings, especially the feeling of success.
Yes, let's talk about marks or grades, the score the teacher gives you. I get a good mark.
And how does that feel?
I feel happy.
I get a good mark. I feel happy. That makes sense. Feeling happy when you do well, it's like a little reward. It makes you want to keep trying.
But let's be honest. Learning isn't always easy, is it? Sometimes it's difficult.
Oh, definitely not. Especially in new language. Things can feel really hard.
The source material acknowledges this. It says, sometimes homework is hard. That word, hard, it means difficult, challenging, needs a lot of effort.
If you're learning English now, you probably know that feeling. Some things feel hard.
But here's the really crucial part, the mindset. Listen very closely to this next phrase. Try to say it with the same determination, but I don't give up.
I don't give up. That's such an important phrase. What does it mean, don't give up?
It's an idiom. It just means you keep trying, you persevere, you continue working even when it's tough.
You don't stop just because it's difficult.
Exactly. And part of not giving up is accepting that mistakes will happen. It's normal, especially when you're learning something new.
There's a great sentence that sums this up. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's the reality.
But I try again.
But I try again. That try again part is everything. It's resilience. Think about using a pencil. You make a mistake. What do?
You erase it.
You erase it, and then
You try again, you write it correctly.
Exactly. Or when you're speaking, you might say a word wrong. Okay, fine. You notice it, you correct it, you try saying it again the right way. The learning happens in the correction.
That try again attitude.
Yeah,
That's really what makes a successful learner, isn't it? Not being afraid to be wrong sometimes.
absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about hard work, marks, not giving up. But school isn't just work, work, work. There's also the social side. Breaks, friends.
Yeah, gotta have breaks. Rest the brain a bit. What happens during break time? Well, first, maybe you need some fuel.
I bring my lunch. Or maybe you buy lunch at school. Either way, I eat with my friends.
Eating lunch with friends. It seems simple, but it's important practice for just talking, communicating, building relationships, using your English in a relaxed way.
And how do you know when it's time for lunch or time to go back to class? There's usually a signal. The bell rings.
The bell rings.
Mm.
Ding, ding, ding. That sound organizes the whole school day, tells everyone when to move.
And during the longer breaks, maybe after lunch, where do you go? Off outside.
To the playground.
I play in the playground.
What do you do there?
I run with my friends.
Play, run.
Ah!
Fun, energetic activities. Good for clearing your head, moving your body before the next lesson.
And the people you're with at school, your friends, the other students in your class, what are they called?
They're your classmates.
My classmates are friendly.
Friendly, that's a great adjective. It means they're nice to you, welcoming, easy to talk to.
Having friendly classmates makes school a much happier place.
And what do friendly classmates often do? We help each other.
Help each other. That's key. School isn't just about your own learning. It's also about learning to cooperate, to share, to support others. Being polite, respectful, teamwork. So you see, even playing and eating lunch involves using language, building social skills. It all connects. Effort, mindset, social support, they all work together.
Okay, that covers the daily routine, homework, and the social parts pretty well. I think we've built a really solid foundation now with these beginner-level ideas.
I agree. Ready to move up a little.
Let's do it. Time for part 3. We're going to shift now to slightly longer sentences, a bit more detail. Think intermediate level. We'll keep the pace clear, but we'll explore what you study the subjects and how to study effectively the skills.
Right, so less about just doing and more about thinking and improving. Let's start with the main subjects you learn in school. I study English, which is what you're doing right now.
Good one.
I study math. I study science. And maybe I like history.
Okay, so English, math, science, history, these are big areas of knowledge. But what do they actually teach you? The source material goes a bit deeper here. The sentences get a little more complex because we're talking about concepts, not just simple actions.
Exactly. Take math, for instance. It's not just adding numbers, is it?
No, it's more about logic, problem solving.
Right. The sentence explains, math teaches me how to think carefully and clearly. See those adverbs? Carefully and clearly. They describe how you think. That makes the sentence a bit more advanced.
Okay. What about science? Is it just memorizing facts about plants or animals?
Hopefully not. Good science teaching should make you curious. Science makes me curious about the world around me.
Curious, wanting to know more, asking why and how.
Exactly. It trains you to investigate, to explore, and notice that extra phrase about the world around me. It adds detail, tells you what you're curious about.
Makes sense. Then there's history. You said you like history.
I do. History shows me stories from the past. It helps you understand how things got to be the way they are now, learning about people, events, context.
And what about a subject that's maybe less academic, more creative?
Like art class. I draw in art class.
Just draw.
Well, the sentence explains the benefit. Art lets me be creative and express myself. Creative and express. Those are great intermediate words about your inner world, your imagination, your feelings.
So different subjects develop different skills, thinking clearly, being curious, understanding the past, expressing yourself. Learning is broad.
Okay, now let's get really practical. Let's talk about how to get better, especially at English. The specific actions you, the learner, need to take. We mentioned practice before, but let's dive deeper. It really comes down to 2 core actions again.
Which are
Practice and repeat.
practice and repeat. Okay.
I repeat words. This is exactly what we suggested with shadowing earlier. Say the words out loud, again and again.
Why does repeating help so much?
It makes the word feel less strange, more natural. Your mouth learns how to say it, your ear learns how to hear it, and it starts to stick in your memory.
And the other part, practice.
I practice every day. The key here is every day.
Not just once a week for hours.
No, The source material is really clear on this. Practice every day makes me stronger in English. It's like exercise. Little and often is much better than one huge session. It builds the habit.
And this practice, it directly helps with something many learners worry about: confidence.
Absolutely. How can you build speaking confidence? The source suggests, I practice reading loudly to improve my speaking.
Reading loudly, why loudly? Not just silently in your head.
When you read out loud, you hear yourself speaking English. It connects your voice and your ear. You get used to the sound of English coming from your own mouth.
Ah, I see. So it makes it feel more normal, less scary to actually speak later.
Exactly. It trains you to speak clearly and with confidence. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about feeling able to use the language without being too afraid or hesitant, making some noise.
Okay, practice, repeat, read loudly. What else helps?
Yeah.
Resources, tools.
Yes, you need help sometimes. I use my dictionary to learn new words.
The dictionary, your little helper, tells you the meaning, how to spell it, maybe even how to say it.
It turns confusion into understanding, a very important tool.
So you use your tools, you practice. What about mistakes? We said mistakes are okay, but what do you do about them?
This is a crucial intermediate skill.
Yeah.
Self-correction. Checking your own work, like being your own editor.
How does that work?
The process is simple. I check my work, maybe after you write something or even after you speak.
Step 1, check.
I correct my mistakes. Find what was wrong. Grammar, spelling, maybe use the wrong word.
Step 2,
Correct. And the result? I get better.
check, correct, get better. I like that. Let's focus on correct my mistakes for a second. People hate making mistakes.
I know. But really, if you're never making mistakes, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. You're staying in your comfort zone.
So what kind of mistakes are we talking about correcting?
It could be grammar, like using go instead of goes, or spelling. But also, maybe you just misunderstood an idea. Correcting means fixing whatever was wrong.
And the key is you don't just stop when you make a mistake.
No, you fix it. And that act of correcting actually makes the learning stronger. You remember the right way better because you had to fix the wrong way. You learn how to learn better.
That's active learning right there, not just passively receiving information.
Exactly. Okay, we've covered the how, the study skills. Now what about the why? The motivation, the mindset behind all this effort?
Why bother with all this hard work? What's the goal?
Well, the source puts it simply but powerfully. I like learning. Maybe you just enjoy discovering new things. And I want to be smart.
Smart, meaning having knowledge.
Having knowledge, yes, but also being able to use that knowledge to think well, solve problems. And that knowledge, that ability gives you options, influence.
Which leads to another powerful idea. Learning is power.
Yeah. Power to understand the world, power to make choices about your own life, your future.
And that connects to dreaming about that future. I dream big.
Setting goals for yourself.
I want success. Success might mean different things to different people. Good job, helping others, feeling fulfilled. But learning helps you get there.
And what's the absolute foundation for all of this? The belief you need to have.
The most important one, maybe.
I believe in myself.
I believe in myself, trusting that you can learn, that you can improve, even if it's slow sometimes. Step by step.
If you have that belief, you won't be so scared of the hard work or the mistakes. You know you can get through it.
That belief carries you through when the homework feels hard, right? You study, you put in the effort, and you feel proud, even just for trying.
Exactly. Okay, that covers the intermediate ground subjects, study skills, motivation.
So we've gone from daily routines to study habits. Where do we go next?
We look further ahead. Part 4 is about the future, long-term goals, and this idea of university. This section uses some of the longest, most complex sentences because we're talking about more abstract ideas.
Okay, the big picture. Why does all this schoolwork, all this education, actually matter in the long run?
The source gives a really great, concise reason. Education is important because it opens doors in life.
Opens doors. That's another idiom, isn't it? It means it creates opportunities.
Exactly. New chances. Better jobs, maybe. More choices about how you want to live. Education literally gives you more pathways forward.
And specifically, the language we're focusing on, English. How does that fit into the future?
Its relevance is huge globally. I know English will help me in the future.
How so?
Well, think about it. Science, technology, business, travel, the internet. So much uses English. It's a tool that connects you to information and people all over the world.
Okay, so education opens doors, English helps you walk through them. What's a common big goal for students after they've finished regular school?
For many, it's higher education. One day I want to go to university and study.
University. Let's make sure everyone understands that
Yeah.
word. It's like the next level of school after high school, right? Usually takes several years.
That's right. And it's quite different from school.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's talk about those differences because it introduces some really important vocabulary about managing yourself.
Okay, how is university different?
Well, the biggest change is probably the amount of freedom students have. Freedom.
Freedom, meaning...
Meaning you often choose your own classes, manage your own schedule. There isn't a teacher checking on you every hour, telling you exactly what to do and when.
Ah, okay. More choice. Sounds good.
It can be good. But that freedom comes with something else, something very important. Responsibility. Responsibility.
Responsibility, meaning you have to manage yourself.
Precisely. You're responsible for getting to classes, doing the work, meeting deadlines. The source says professors, the university teachers, do not check homework every day.
Wow, okay, so nobody's chasing you to make sure you did it.
Generally, no. That's the core difference. School often has a lot of structure and guidance. University expects students to be independent.
Independent.
Independent, meaning you rely on yourself. You manage your own learning.
Yes. You have to follow the course plan, the syllabus, meet the requirements, and importantly, if you're struggling, you have to be the one to seek help. No one might notice automatically if you're falling behind. That sounds like a big shift. So, the good habits you build now in school, doing homework regularly, asking for help when needed, they actually prepare you for that independence later.
Absolutely. They're foundational skills for university success and really for life.
Being independent at university must require some pretty advanced study skills then, especially
Yes.
managing your time.
Definitely. Time management is critical. University students often have to balance study and work.
Work, like a job.
Yeah, many students have part-time jobs to help pay for tuition or living costs. So they have classes, study time, and work hours to juggle. They have to be really organized.
How do they manage that? What's the key strategy?
Well, one thing to avoid is procrastination, leaving things until the very last moment.
Ah, the classic student problem.
Right. The source advises, I try not to study at the last minute.
Why is studying at the last minute so bad, apart from being stressful?
Well, that stress is a big part of it. It causes anxiety. But also, your brain just doesn't learn well under that kind of pressure, trying to cram everything in overnight. You usually forget most of it very quickly.
So what's the better approach?
Preparation. Planning ahead. Preparing early helps me feel confident.
Confident. How does preparing early make you feel confident?
Because you're in control. You know the material, you've had time to understand it, maybe practice it.
Yeah.
You go into an exam or presentation feeling ready, calm, not panicked.
Preparation is key. Okay, what else helps for effective study, especially when the work is demanding? The environment.
Yes, the study environment is crucial. For deep concentration, students often need silence. Silence. No noise, no distractions.
Silence can be hard to find sometimes. Where do they get it?
Well, they might go to the library, usually a designated quiet space. Or if studying at home, they might find a quiet corner, sit at their desk, and maybe actively turn off their phone.
Ah, turn off the phone. That's a big one in today's world, isn't it? Removing that constant temptation for distraction.
It really is. Focus itself is like a muscle. You have to train it, practice concentrating without interruption. Silence helps that training.
So, managing time, preparing early, finding silence, focusing.
Yeah.
These are all skills needed for that long journey of higher education.
And for learning in general, really. Which leads us to a final thought about the whole process.
Okay, the big picture takeaway.
It's that learning isn't quick. It's not a race. Learning is a long journey.
A journey, like a trip that takes time, maybe years. There will be easy parts and hard parts.
Exactly. And because it's long and sometimes difficult, you need the right attitude towards yourself. We must be patient with ourselves.
Patient, meaning calm. Accepting that it takes time, not getting frustrated if you don't understand something instantly.
Yes, all of that. Be kind to yourself during the process. Don't expect miracles overnight.
So, how do you keep going on this long, sometimes slow journey?
You focus on consistency, small, regular progress. I will keep learning, step by step.
Step by step, not trying to jump to the end immediately.
Right. Every day, maybe you learn one new word or understand one grammar rule a little better. Those small steps add up over time. They accumulate into real progress, real success.
And remembering that feeling. Success feels good when you've worked for it. And if you stumble, if you make a mistake.
It's just a chance to try again. Correct it, learn from it, and become stronger. That knowledge you gain step by step really does become your power to shape your future.
Wow, we've covered a lot today, from the very simple, I go to school, all the way to planning for university and beyond.
We really have. We went from basic routines, sitting at a desk, reading a book, through developing strong study habits like practicing daily, correcting mistakes, and finally looking at those big future goals, university, independence, using education to open doors.
The vocabulary is built up quite a bit, too. Remember, the most important thing, though, just listening isn't enough. You have to use it.
That's the key takeaway. Practice. Say these sentences out loud. Go back. Maybe listen again to the parts you found interesting or a bit difficult. Try shadowing speaking along with us. It makes such a difference for your speaking fluency and remembering the words.
Okay, to help you start practicing right now, we've got 3 quick questions based on what we discussed. Try to answer them out loud using full sentences if you can.
Ready? Question 1. What is one academic subject you study at school, and what does it teach you?
Think about English, math, science, history. What skills do they give you? Careful thinking, curiosity, stories.
Okay, question 2. What does it mean to be independent at university, and how is that different from school?
Remember those key words: freedom, responsibility, managing your own time, professors not checking daily.
And the final one, question 3. Why is practicing your speaking loudly important for your confidence?
Think about training your ear and your voice together, getting used to the sound, feeling less afraid.
Take a moment, try to answer those, and maybe listen to this deep dive again later in the week. Pick one sentence that you liked, something that felt powerful or useful to you.
And just repeat it. Say it 10 times out loud until it feels easy, natural. That's great practice.
Thank you so much for joining us today for this deep dive here on Real English Voices.
It was great having you with us. Keep studying, keep practicing, and very importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Bye for now.